Why is it that the days when I really have something to say are always the days that I look terrible? Today is one of those really bad days where I just woke up and I looked at my hair and I looked at my face and I was like, there's no getting around this. I just don't cut it today. No one wants to listen to me. Even my voice is terrible. But I do have something to say. Okay. And the thing that I have to say is, okay, I'll just go into it. There are lots of people I come into contact with who are struggling just to believe that there is a God. Now, that is not something I struggle with. I know there is a God. The thing that just blew me away, and I've heard people talk about it for a long time now, and I don't know, it's okay, here's things. There are things you hear and you don't reject, you don't say, oh, that's not true, but even though it's true, it's like, you believe it's true, but you just, well, I've mentioned it before, there's a difference between believing a thing, maybe there isn't. Anyway, what I said before is that you can say that you believe something or you know something's true. And then it's sort of, I remember there was a teacher that I had once who mentioned that when you actually know things, then it changes who you are and you cannot deny them. And that's kind of the way I feel about this one thing that I wanted to mention. It's not the fact that God exists, it's the fact that He is aware of us and loves us. Now, the sensible part of me, the part of me that's totally immersed in being human and alive and loving this life and stuff, says, how can one person, now I'm a parent and I know how I can love like 2 to 3 people because I love all of my children. Even though I never see very often my older children, I think about them all the time. I mean, constantly. I pray for them and everything. They're so important. Sorry. Okay. But the thing that I didn't understand at all is how a God, there are so many stinking people. I mean, there are lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people. How could somebody actually love and be concerned about all of those people? Well, you know, people used to say, how people can't fly. How could people fly? But we do it now every day, so there's lots of things that we can't understand now, but they are. And that this is one of those things, I can't understand why, but I know that Heavenly Father does love me. And I'll give just one example. It was at Christmas time, and I asked for one thing. That's all I asked for. And Christmas ended, and no one got me anything. Well, that's not true. People got me some things. Some people got me things, but nobody got me the thing that I asked for. And that happens to a lot of us. So no big deal. We move on. We forget that we said we wanted it, but you still want it because it just, you just thought you were going to get something at Christmas, so you just thought you'd mention it, but I didn't get it. And I was thinking, okay, it's hard for me not to get sidetracked, but that's what I'm trying to do right now. Okay, yeah, I thought that, but I'm not going to say it. Okay, so this one thing that I really, really, really wanted isn't an expensive thing, and I thought, it's no big deal. Anyone can get it for me. So my husband asked me one day, you want to go pick out something? I'm like, that kind of defeats the whole present thing. You're not supposed to go pick out your present. Somebody's supposed to give it to you as a token of how they feel about you. If you go buy it for yourself, that's kind of ridiculous. And I don't think that when you buy yourself something, you call it a gift. Really quick, I want to mention a really neat little tidbit. I can't even remember where I learned it, but I learned somewhere that it's a tradition or something people believe that you cannot wear jewelry unless someone gave it to you. Isn't that kind of cool? Anyway, so then it becomes a sign It's not the worth of the jewelry itself, it's the sign to show others that somebody cares about you. Okay, I didn't get the thing that I wanted for Christmas. So, this morning, when my husband was leaving to go to work, he left and my son runs, I'm gonna lock the door, and he runs and locks the door, and then my husband comes again. I'm like, oh, he probably thinks I locked him out. And he comes in, and I thought he was putting a garbage bag on the table, and I thought, oh, I'm not gonna say anything, I'll just take care of it. And then my son runs over, Dad, I locked the door. Okay, got me out of that trouble at least, but I found out it was just him getting rid of garbage, which at first I thought it was the garbage, because what I do is sometimes I don't feel like wearing my pajamas and going down to the dumpster, so I just leave it at the door. And I thought, well, see, there's a neighborhood animal. I think it might be a cat. It could be a raccoon. Anyway, it tears into our garbage bags and strews it all over, and then I have to pick it up again. So I really did think that my husband just found the garbage that I put up the night before and was sticking on the table. And I was like, okay, I'll take care of it. But when I got to looking for it, okay, also another backstory. Last night, well, every night I make cookies. As part of my routine, I make cookies for the kids because Joseph tells me that he cannot handle school without having a cookie before he goes to school. He needs the energy or something. Anyway, so I was making cookies and I used the last of the flour. I was like, dadgummit, we got flour, but we bought it in bulk at this brand new store. And I didn't want to put too much in the bag because I didn't want the bag to rip. So I didn't get enough. And I was like, oh, I ran out of flour. Wouldn't you believe it? That's what I got. That was what was in that bag. When I went to the table and I started looking through it, it's great big bags of flour. And the other thing that we'd run out of was pancake mix. And it was exactly that. I'm like, oh. Now, that seems like a pretty ordinary thing, huh? Yeah, it does. But to me, instantly, I knew that there was more behind that than what meets the eye. Anyway, and so that's why I made this video, even though I don't sound good and I don't look good and I've tried to fix it so that you don't have to look at something so hideous, but there's nothing I can do about it. This is just the way I'm going to look. Well, I might be able to do something about it, like go to sleep and get better and exercise. But I can't do those things before I make the video because I wanted to tell you that I know, and I've heard other people say that they know that Heavenly Father loves His children, which is you, each one of us. And I thought, yeah, I believe that. And then when I started thinking about it seriously, I was like, how can that be? That can't be. But it is. He is mindful. I don't know how He does it. I think of that movie Bruce Almighty where he gets to be God for a while or something, and he gets all the email. Well, first he gets all the prayers every night, and they fill up. He gets little note cards, and he has this file cabinet. He thinks that's how he's going to organize them. That's kind of the way I was. I kind of think, well, yeah, there's a lot of people, but then that emphasizes how many people there really are. He gets the idea, oh, he's going to answer them by email. He'll just let them all come in and say, answer all. Anyway, that's the thing I've been learning lately is how many stinking people there are. There are so many people. How could God be aware of what everyone prays and everyone wants? And we always think, yeah, he's manipulating things. Like whenever anything goes good or bad, we say, oh, that was the hand of God. How can that be? Well, I'm telling you, it is. I don't know, but it is. I hear a kid, just a second.